Welcome back. If you're new here, we're taking on every boss in Old School RuneScape as someone who is extremely unfamiliar with PVM. And if you're just like me and don't have a ton of PVM experience, or maybe you're super experienced, come hang out with me and let's take on this adventure together. I'm snooortch, and this is one boss at a time. I'm really glad you're back. So in the first episode, we took on Sarachnis, since she was an easy boss that I hadn't faced yet. But after defeating her, I really thought I'd be more confident and ready to tackle harder bosses, but I wasn't. And I know the plan is to defeat every boss in Old School RuneScape, but there really isn't much more of a plan outside of that. And I think that if I want to be able to confidently take on raids or even the Inferno at some point, I need a better plan. Something better than just blindly taking a stab at a list of undefeated bosses. I need structure. So to achieve this, I set up a bossing ladder that I must fully complete to consider myself a true PVMer. Let me explain. This ladder is made up of 5 tiers. Easy, medium, hard, elite, and master. Each tier has their own respective boss list based on their difficulty, 56 bosses in total, and I must fully complete a tier to move on to the next one. Though there is one and only one exception. For the sake of time, I will not include bosses that require a higher Slayer level than mine, which is currently 80, to progress to the next tier. I will, however, need to defeat them to complete this entire series. So as my Slayer level progresses, I'll take on those bosses. So the plan is still simple, defeat every boss in Old School RuneScape, except now I'll have a roadmap. So in the first tier, which is the easy tier, we have 6 iconic easy bosses. And the first one we're heading to is one of my personal favorites. If you guessed Barrows, you've definitely been here before, and if not,
you suck!
And that's okay, me too. Let me show you how I do it. Barrows is really simple. Essentially, you have to awaken each of the brothers from their tomb and kill them, and the order that you take to do that is completely up to you. But I typically like to go in the order of Diharok, Aram, Carol, Guthin, Torog, and whatever you call this one. One of the brothers will not be in his tomb. We'll need to fight him down below the crypts in the tunnels before we loot the chest at the end. And as for fighting each of the brothers, you'll want to use magic for all of them except Aram. You'll want to just make sure you're on top of your prayer. For Diharok, you'll want to pray against melee. He can hit extremely high, so don't turn it off until he's dead. Now let's go to Aram. This is the brother that you'll want to fight with range, so I brought a range switch. Looks like he's not home, so he's the one that we'll have to kill later. Now let's head to Carol. Protect from range and make sure you're using mage again. Now we'll rinse and repeat for Guthin, Torog, and this guy. And just use protect for melee from all of them. This guy kind of sucks because he can hit straight through your prayer, so just make sure you're on top of your HP here. Now with them all dead, let's go back to the crypt of the brother that wasn't home. We'll go into the tunnels and head to the center room to fight the last brother. Remember to keep your prayer points high, as without the Grommel's Hilt 2 and better, your prayer is going to drain here. Also, sometimes the brother can spawn while making your way through the tunnels, so always be ready. Aram uses mage, so I'll protect for mage and use range here to take him down. Now that he's down, it's time to grab the loot in the center room. If you're curious about the plugins that I use for Barrows, here they are. These come with some pretty great quality of life benefits, like seeing exactly which door to go through. Also, you'll be able to see your potential, and you'll want to get this to about 80% before looting a chest to get a better chance at a good reward. And to do that, you just need to kill stuff in the tunnels. Loot the chest and rinse and repeat. And that's the first boss in the easy tier down. Progress. Obviously, I'm still not ready to take on anything crazy yet, but that's the point. This boss ladder will keep me in a linear path from the easiest monsters to the toughest bosses. I hope this series finds the players that want to follow along with me. I truly am so excited, not only for the bosses I'll get to defeat, but the friends I'll make along the way. Consider subscribing if you want to support the journey. See ya!